Hello, Krunal. Welcome back, all of you students. Good evening. And going to be a very good session of the organic chemistry part 3. In the first part of the organic chemistry, we have told you what type of sigma and pi bonds are formed by carbon compounds. We have discussed tetravalency of the carbon, sp3, sp2, sp hybridization, and also explained the relationship between hybridization, bond lengths, bond enthalpies, and acidic characters. These are all important in order to understand the organic chemistry which is going to study after all this. Now the important thing which we are coming today is the representation of the organic compounds. You see, how do we represent organic compounds, students? And this is important part that what I have written is that we told you carbon is the element which is tetravalent, and carbon forms very large number of compounds. And you already know that what you have in the carbon, students, you are forming hydrocarbons which contains carbon and hydrogen. You have saturated and unsaturated hydrocarbons. You know about that. Then we told you about functional groups, student. There are functional groups which will be the reactive group present in the organic compounds and will decide the chemical properties, reactions of these compound, students. So basically the question has been representation of structural representation of the organic compound. And we have studied, students. It's not that we have not studied, that it is possible to represent what I have shown here: complete form, condensed form, and bond line structural formulas. We must be able to refresh that. How to represent the complete, I'm saying what we have is complete form, students, and condensed forms, and bond line, because sometimes it is not possible to represent the big molecules, so we may try to find a short form of this. So what we are trying to say, supposing let us take example, and you keep your notes and notebook ready, colored pens ready, because practice is required for everything. It helps us. Supposing I am writing a compound, student, 1 2 3 4 5 6. Here I have 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 carbon, students. If I put it like this, students, important point, valency of carbon should be 4. Valency of carbon, I have to satisfy 4. Carbon carbon bond is there, carbon hydrogen bond is there, or functional groups could be there. Okay, no problem. But every carbon can only form 4 bonds, not more than that. Am I not going? So we have to satisfy the tetravalency of carbon, students. So here I have written a case where I am saying I have given a representation. This is the complete form. Yes or no? Tell me. You know about it. I have completely written everything.
Yes, sir.
Complete form. In the condensed form, what you are going to do? That you see CH2, 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 they are repeating. So I will put it in the condensed form. So I can write it CH3, students, CH3, and what you have, CH2, students. How many times is that? 1 2 3 4 5 times, and CH3. Did I do the right, or some mistake is there? Check it out. Is it
Yes,
correct,
sir.
or I have done some mistake for this compound? check
Correct, sir.
right or wrong?
Right, sir. Right, sir.
Right, okay. So this has this was my complete form. This is my condensed form. And what we do, we can further omit these dashes of all the covalent bonds and indicating number of identical group by a subscript. This is the condensed form. Here I have not written these bonds, students. I have not shown these, and only I have put a bracket and indicated the repeating unit. So we have shown only this. For example, if I have CH3OH, I am showing it like this. Or if I have a complete form, I will have to write everything. See how we represent this compound in this form. Now, even this we can represent by a bond line representation. What do we do in bond line representation? Another way of representing structure in which only lines are used, bond line structural representation. Students of organic compounds, carbon and hydrogen not shown. We are not going to show bond line, I am saying. CH not shown. They are not shown. And the lines representing carbon are drawn in zigzag fashion. Lines, carbon, zigzag fashion, I am saying. Zigzag fashion. The only atoms specifically written are oxygen, chlorine, nitrogen, etc. If there is any functional group, those atoms I will have to show and write. Terminals. Terminals will denote what, students? Terminals denote CH3 group. CH3 group. Unless if it is a functional group, I will have to show it. While the line junctions denote carbon atoms bonded to appropriate number of hydrogens required to satisfy the valency of the carbon. When I say valency of the carbon is how much? 4 every time. If I am not showing anything, it means the rest are the hydrogens. Terminal things are, what you are saying, terminal things, only methyl. Supposing I have this compound. This is a condensed form. So I can put it like this. This is a bond line form of this, yes or no? This is carbon, and terminals are always, what terminals are? Methyl. This is methyl. There is a bond between them. If I have CH3, CH2, CH3, what it means? I will show it by zigzag. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
This is our methyl, and this is carbon, and there will be 2 hydrogens which we have omitted according to him. Valency of carbon has to be 4.
Yes, sir.
Now we are saying 3 methyl octane. I have 3 methyl octane. I give you 1 minute so that then I can solve it. 1 minute. 3 methyl octane. We have to show the complete form. Then we have to show the condensed form. And we have to show the bond line representation. We have to show the 3 forms of this 3 methyl octane. You have 1 minute for this. Then we are going to do it here. Just to see, can we write the 3? We can write, students, complete form, we can write the condensed forms, and we can write the bond line representations. Such representations will be used sooner or later when molecules will become longer, students. we have to practice and we have to learn. So we have to learn, students, complete, condensed and bond line representations. Okay, let me see how we do it. How we do it. 3-methyl octane. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If I number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 carbons. So there are 8 carbons, and at 3 position, you are saying there is a methyl. If I satisfy the 4 valencies of the carbon, students, what you are having complete form, every time the valency of carbon 4, valency of carbon how much? 4. ठीक है?
Yes, sir.
Okay, 4. This is my H, this is my H. Now what is the story here? If I have CH3, this is my CH2, and here you see you have CH and there is a CH3. How do we write? We put a bracket here. Put a bracket here. Now how much time? 1, 2, 3, 4 times.
Hmm.
CH2, 4, CH3. Am I right or wrong?
Right, sir.
Okay, check it out. There could be some mistake from my side. Condensed form, complete form, students. Condensed form. Now I have to write the bond line. How many carbons we are saying in this? 8. This is my 8th carbon. So zigzag, we have to show it by zigzag. 1 carbon, 2 carbon, 3 carbon, 4 carbon, 5 carbon, 6 carbon, 7 and 8. How much? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 carbons. Did I do the 8 carbons?
Hmm.
Then 1, 2 and 3. 1, 2 and 3. Tell me, have I written right or wrong? Did I write anything, carbon or hydrogen anywhere? Got it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Got it.
This is the bond line representation. So this is easier, and when big molecules will be there, we will be able to do such things. Any doubt here?
No, sir.
Okay. All right. If there are cyclic compounds, students, cyclic compounds, you know that there are rings. What we have rings? Carbon are joined in rings. What is this? Cyclopropane. How do you represent cyclopropane in the bond line? This is my cyclopentane, students. How do you represent bond line? This. And what is this compound? Chlorocyclohexane and bond line representation. So these are our bond line representation, students. If carbon is not there, then I have to show the element Cl, oxygen, nitrogen, whatever it is. So we could easily show it, students. Okay, now on the screen is a question for us. For each of the following compounds, write the condensed form and also the bond line representations for these formulas. You have 1 minute. 1 minute for these questions. For each of the following compounds, condensed formula and also their bond line representations. how many carbons are there in the A part? CH2, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is a side chain. Longest carbon chain is how much? You see, in A part, you identify the longest carbon chain is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. There are six. Longest carbon chain is how much? How many carbons? 6. You can see. If I represent the condensed form, this is my OH. How many CH2? 1, 2, 3. 3 times. Then you have CH3 bracket. After this you have CH3, another CH3. So what I will do? CH3 twice. Is it the condensed form? Did I do right or wrong? Check it. Am I correct or wrong, student? Right or wrong?
I'm correct, sir. Right, sir.
Okay. Now we have to write the bond line representation. 6 carbons are there. 6 carbon. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Zigzag, zigzag. 1, 2, 3. If I start here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many? 1 carbon, 2 carbon, 3 carbon, 4, 5, 6. 6 carbon. Then I have put one extra. One extra carbon is there.
Hmm.
CH2, CH1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 carbons. But 6 carbon, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 carbons. And there is a methyl group. Where is the methyl group? If I see the expanded form of these students, CH2, 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 how it looks like CH, CH3, CH, CH3, CH3, and OH here, OH here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this should end here at this point. This should end here. This is not required. This is not required.
Hmm.
At 5 and 4, at 5 and 4, you have methyl group and at OH at this point. So I can say that 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And here you have methyl, here you have methyl, and you have OH here. Is it right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can try it. You can try it. This is wrong. So we have to try, by practice we will be able to write. I've given another question. How will we write this? How will we write this, students? You have 1 minute.
Hmm.
Condensed form, and then the bond line B. What is the condensed form of these, students? If I say CH, OH, CN twice. Am I right or wrong?
Right, sir.
Okay. And if I say how many carbon? 1, 2, 3. This is carbon. And what is this?
Hmm.
This means carbon, this means carbon, nitrogen, and what we have? OH.
Hmm.
Am I right or wrong?
Right, sir.
Okay. Note it down.
I'm writing, sir.
Huh?
Writing, sir. Writing.
Write down everything. Write down everything. When you are finished, you will let me know.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now expand each of the following bond line formulas to show all the atoms, including carbon and hydrogen.
Hmm.
So we have to show students. You have 1 minute before we discuss these things. You have to expand. These are bond line formulas, students. We have to show all the atoms, including carbon and hydrogen in these cases. So if I take A part, you have 6-membered ring here. This is my 6-membered ring. Here, what I have, students? This is carbon. This is carbon. How many hydrogen? Valency of carbon, how much should be there? 4. 4. Satisfied. What is happening here? Carbon,
Yes, sir.
carbon, 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 carbon. Yes. So
Yes, sir.
what is valency of carbon? 4. 1, 2, 3. There should be 1 hydrogen here. How many? Carbon, 1, 2, 3. There should be 1 hydrogen here. Here, how many should be there, students? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Am I right or wrong?
Right, sir.
Okay. Now we have question number B, students. We have to complete all the carbons and hydrogens. Practice makes a man perfect. We have to do some practice, students. We are going to learn basics. Organic chemistry is the most important part. After we learn, you will see that how much we are going to learn, and every further all the chapters will become easy for us to solve.
Hmm.
Now here, how many carbon? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So what we are trying to do, students? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Hmm.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So what will be the valency of carbon in every case? 4.
Yes, sir.
And what we have to put hydrogens here? There is nothing. There is no functional group or anything. Then we will put hydrogens. The valency of carbon is 4. Balance it, students. Balance it. Balanced, balanced, balanced. Got it?
Yes, sir.
I can be wrong. If I am wrong, you will tell me. Now C part, students. You have 1 minute. 1 minute before I do it. These are live interaction classes. You can ask questions. If you are not satisfied, you can stop me. We have to solve.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, this is carbon. There is a triple bond. So what should be here? Hydrogen. And then what you have? Carbon. This is carbon. And what you have? This is a carbon. And
Yes,
you
sir.
have C, H, 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 OH. How many? One, two, three. Then how many hydrogens left? One, one, two. How much? One, two, three, and four.
Yes, sir.
Am I right or wrong?
Right, sir.
Okay. The last part you are coming. You are solving with me. Okay. 1 minute for every question, students. So, what is this? This question was given once. The students were little bit confused. What it shows, this is carbon, this is carbon, this is carbon,
Hmm.
this is carbon, this is carbon, and this is carbon. How many I will put? Every time valency of carbon, 4 students, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Everything balanced?
Hmm.
Basically, what it looks like, this compound. This is our CH3 students, CH3, CH, CH3. This is our CH, CH3 and CH3. Something like this. Correct? 1, 2,
Hmm.
3, 4. What is the IUPAC name of this compound? IUPAC name of this compound will be what? Longest chain is 4 carbon. Longest chain is 4 carbon. The root. How do you decide the root?
Hmm.
Root, longest chain 4 carbons. 4 carbon is what? But suffix. This is alkane, ANE, and the prefix. Prefix are the substituents, students.
Yes, sir.
That's how you write the IUPAC name. How you write the IUPAC name. Prefix, root, and suffix. Again, some revision. Prefix, root, and suffix. So what will be this? 2,3 dimethyl, 2,3 dimethyl butane. ठीक है?
Yes, sir.
Okay. 2, 3 dimethyl butane.
Hmm.
Okay. So we know about this. All right. Further, one more interesting thing, students, now. We can try some more on. You know there are 3 types to represent the structures of the organic compound. 3 types: complete, condensed, or bond line.
Oh,
So
yes,
if you
sir.
are given in exam bond line, you should be ready. And
Hmm.
don't think every time they will give you straight. And they can give online representation. We can easily answer the question. No problem. Further, we are aware when you see 3-dimensional representation, we should be clear, because when I will discuss alkyl halides and mechanism, I will discuss something on stereochemistry, students.
Oh, yes, sir.
Stereochemistry. That means we will show the representation in space of these atoms around carbon. If I have CH4 molecules, students, this is a tetrahedral in shape, right?
Hmm.
And sp3 hybridization, bond angle is how much, student?
Hmm.
109.5 degree.
5. Yes, sir.
Is that 3-dimensional, not a 2-dimensional? This, my blackboard is only 2-dimensional. If you see the maths book now, I know what is the shape of tetra. Tetra means four heads. And there are 2 types of representations Three-dimensional representation of organic molecules. I have shown two hydrogens by this line, these lines. This line, you are saying this line. They are bonds in the plane of the paper.
Hmm.
Are the bonds, I'm saying, in the plane of the paper, students. This plane where I'm writing. This is a plane, na? You can see they are in the plane. And when I represent like this dark edge, see the dark edge, which is called the solid wedge. You are observing, this is the hydrogen which is towards the observer. This is towards us, towards the observer. What I am trying to say. Here, what I am saying, if this is my hydrogen, this is the towards the observer. Towards observer, students. And these dash lines are used. What they show? What the dash lines show, students? It is moving away from the observer. The front, this is the front side, that is the back side. So we'll use two type of edges, wedges.
Hmm.
One will be solid, one will be dashed wedge. Solid wedge, this is called the dashed wedge. Why do we need that? We will tell you when we will do alkyl halides and all that mechanism.
Hmm.
Because the optically active compounds, when we will talk of optically active compounds, students, optically active compounds, you will see there is a dextro, which rotates the plane polarized light towards the clockwise, and L. So, in the reactions, there could be inversion of the configurations. Inversion of the configuration could take place in such cases. So we already know about such reactions. You have heard about inversion of cane sugar reaction, which we discussed in chemical kinetic. Inversion of cane sugar is important reaction. The inversion means what? The configuration is changing now. So that type of things we will know if we have such representations. So we use solid wedge dashed lines to represent the molecules. This when we will talk about the alkyl halides, haloalkanes and chemistry, we will use that. Okay? We understand what is a solid wedge, what is a dashed wedge. Any doubt here?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Further coming to important points now. Organic chemistry will involve, you know, when I write a lot of things about the organic chemistry, you will see we are using Lewis symbols are very important and great help to us in organic chemistry. Why they are important and helpful, students? Because see, in the 11th class, you have studied the Lewis symbols. What you studied? Lewis symbol, very important. Organic chemistry, in organic chemistry, what we are having organic compounds, they will be carbon, hydrogen, or few elements, mostly.
Oh.
Which one? Oxygen, nitrogen, halogens, or sulfur maximum. Nitrogen will be there, oxygen will be there, chlorine, phenols, alcohols, amines. Alkyl halides means halogen is there. So we should know what type of bond they form. We should know their Lewis structures. This will help us in understanding the reactions a lot. Lewis.
Yes, sir.
So in how do you write the Lewis symbol, student? What we do? Valence electrons, we try to see how many valence electrons are there. Okay? Valence electrons. For example, I say hydrogen. How many electrons are there in the hydrogen? Hydrogen, one.
Yes, sir. One.
So when I represent the Lewis structure, you are saying you show one dot. Now hydrogen has one electron. When it will form a bond How many bonds it can form? Tell me. Always one. Hydrogen is always forming one bond. Have you seen any double bond with the hydrogen?
No, sir.
You will not see. Have you seen any triple bond? No. Why? There is only one electron. So if it shares one electron with any element, then what it will do with the two electrons will form a bond, you know. So hydrogen is always single bond, students. Single bond. You will always see single bonds in hydrogen. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So for that I should know the Lewis structure. That's why I'm saying draw the Lewis structure of carbon.
Hmm.
Carbon. Tell me how many electrons are there in the valence shell of carbon?
4, sir.
4. Okay, you are saying 1, 2, 3, 4. That means how many bonds it can form? 1, 2, 3, 4. How many it forms? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
That's
Yes,
why
sir.
we
Yes,
said
sir.
carbon is forming 4 bonds. So when I will show in organic compounds, students,
Hmm.
maximum will be 4 for carbon.
Yes, sir.
Hydrogen only one single bond. You will never see
Yes,
double
sir.
bond. Have you ever seen like this? No, not possible. Why? Because that's why I am talking of the Lewis. The inner shell are well protected, are not involved in combination process, students. The outermost valence electrons take part in the chemical bonding. We know that. So American introduced simple notation to represent valence electron, which are called the Lewis symbol. If I take nitrogen now, nitrogen, okay? What is the Lewis symbol of nitrogen? How many electrons in the valence shell of nitrogen?
5, sir.
5.
7, 7.
5.
5.
Okay? So
5,
you
5.
are showing something like this posing. Now you see these are unpaired electron. How many bonds it is forming? 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3 is posing. H, H, H. This becomes ammonia. But there is a lone pair of electron. What is it called? Lone pair. What is this called? Bond pair. So when you will see nitrogen, there will be a available lone pair. Organic reaction, when I will study, it will help me. Because I am going to use it. How many bonds nitrogen is forming, students? 3.
Yes, sir.
But it can form 4 also, but then it will have to
Yes,
give
sir.
this
It can
reaction.
form more side.
Then what it will become? NH, H, H. If I show another one, then nitrogen gets plus charge. So 4 bonds, when nitrogen will be 4 bonds, there will be a plus charge on the nitrogen. Yes or no? That's what you called as ammonium ion.
Yes, sir.
Please try to understand everything. This is very important. All organic chemistry will become easy. Where the charge on the nitrogen? Because nitrogen is giving its electron pair. So giving its electron, and then it becomes ammonium ions. In ammonia, there are only 3 bonds, but there is a lone pair of electron on the nitrogen. Students, it's forming 3 bonds. Maximum it can form 4 bonds. When it will show 4 bonds, there will be positive charge on the nitrogen. Got it?
Yes, sir.
So let me see now. Lewis symbol for oxygen. Tell me how many electrons are there in oxygen?
6.
How many electrons are there?
6, sir. 6.
6. Sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I represent it like this, student. So you will see that how many more it need? 2. 2 electrons to complete octet.
Yes, sir.
So how many bonds oxygen will form? Tell me. How many bonds oxygen can form? According to this, 1 and 1, 2. Oxygen can form 2 bonds. Because it will share 2 electrons, it will become 8. So either you will see oxygen double bond, or if like this 2 single bonds. And how many electrons are left then? 2 and 2, 4. 2, 4 and 2, 6 and 2, 8. Here you see 2 and 2, 4.
Yes, sir.
This is a way of representing Lewis electron dot structures. And this, for example, in water, what is this? This is my water. Got it?
Hmm.
This is water. In water, this is important because there are electron pairs on oxygen and it can donate and act as a Lewis base.
Hmm. Yes,
Organic
sir.
reactions, na, they will help us because they will know how it works. So students, here, if I take halogen, what happens in the halogens? In halogen, how many electrons in the outermost shell? Hydrogen only one bond, oxygen two
Uh,
bonds, nitrogen three, carbon four. What about Cl? How many electrons are there in the Cl outermost shell, students? Seven. Seven.
yes, sir.
If halogen is seven, halogen I'm putting, for example, Cl is seven. You are saying now it needs one. It can form one bond. Two electrons. It becomes eight. It
Hmm.
becomes eight. It is not that it may form another bond also, then it will become positively charged. We will show that. But here it is in need of one electron, Cl, and there are three lone pairs of electrons. How many? 1, 2, and 3.
Hmm.
And then when organic reactions will take place, we will use them. That's why we are talking about this. Here are some of the Lewis structures which we have drawn. This is the Lewis
Hmm.
structure of water. If I say draw the Lewis structure of carbon dioxide, what is the Lewis structure of carbon dioxide? Did I write the correct or wrong?
Yes, sir. Correct.
Carbon monoxide, you see there are lone pairs of electron on oxygen and carbon in carbon monoxide also. 6.
Hmm.
This is my 2, 4, 6 and 2, 8. And how many? 2, 4 and 6, 8. In chemical bonding chapter, we told you how to draw the Lewis structures for different compounds.
Compound.
We did that.
Hmm.
And again, I'm doing that in organic chemistry. You got it? Why? Because organic chemistry reactions will take place because of the displacement or movement of the electrons.
Hmm.
Someone is donating the electron, but if it doesn't have, how it will donate and how many bonds it will form? Because in carbon, hydrogen, we will have oxygen, nitrogen, halogens,
Hmm.
sulfur, etc. Few, mostly in compounds, which we will study.
Hmm. Yes, sir.
So we should know these molecules. Here I have CH4, ammonium ions. I told you nitrogen becomes positive, student. See, and ammonia, nitrogen has a lone pair of electron and OH minus. Now, what is the OH minus? OH minus will be used a lot in organic chemistry. When I
Hmm.
will prepare alcohols from alkyl halides, I will use OH because there is a negative charge on the oxygen.
Yes, sir.
Interesting. Oxygen, what is oxygen? 2, 4, and 6. It should form two bonds. But if it forms only one bond, then what happens? If oxygen is forming one bond, students, then it will be negatively charged. If I write O minus, then how many are there? 6, 2, 4, 6.
Hmm.
And that means oxygen is gaining the electrons. Oxygen is gaining the electron. This pair of electron is towards the oxygen. So you are putting a
Yes, sir.
negative charge here, negative charge.
Huh.
Negative charge. OH minus is written negatively charged, students. Where it got? If I it is water, what is we are showing in water? See, this pair of electron goes here. Then what happens? This is gone, H plus, and what is OH minus? Got it?
Hmm. Yes, sir.
That becomes useful in organic chemistry.
Hmm.
So we need to know about Lewis structures in general organic chemistry. I'm talking about.
Hmm.
You will see how they will work. When you see oxygen double bond is neutral. When you see oxygen single bond, it will be negatively charged. Negatively charged because the Lewis structures 6 electrons. Okay. Now more interesting things further. Very important thing here. I have
Hmm.
come to the polarity of the bonds and electronegativity of the different elements have been shown, which type of compounds will be used. They will be used, students, in the organic chemistry. So what I'm trying to show here, electronegativity and polarity of the bond. You see that in organic chemistry, between you and me it is clear, there is carbon, hydrogen. What other elements are there? Cl, oxygen, nitrogen, sulfur, or boron. Boron also, will see the boron compounds. You know, B2H6 is being used.
Yes, sir.
And sulfur, oxygen, nitrogen, such bonds, carbon, boron bonds, nitrogen, halogens could be there, boron, Cl, and carbon, and some metals. Which metals we are using? Sodium and magnesium. Grignard's reagent. Grignard's reagent will have magnesium.
Yes,
Grignard's
sir.
reagent will have what? Magnesium. So we are likely to experience these bonds. And the story is you by now you know that when reactions will take place, when reactions are going to take place, I've shown a carbon and zinc bond also, because zinc is also used a lot in organic chemistry. I'm talking
Yes, sir.
about organic chemistry. Where nobody will teach you what I'm telling you. It's not in a book. Be careful, keep the notes with you. Because our organic reactions will become easy and we will start understanding them. Why does a reaction take place? I said in organic chemistry, student, what happens is there is a substrate. There is a substrate and there is an attacking reagent. You know what is an attacking reagent? It will attack and form a product. But there will be some intermediate. You know that. Some intermediate will be formed and then there will be product. This is how the reaction takes place. But why should something attack here? Where is the attack takes place? Carbon. But the charge is important, whether it is positive or negative. If it is a positive, the negative reagent will come and attack.
Yes,
if it
sir.
is neutral, then there is no much interest to attack it. But if it has charge something, sometimes we show delta charge, or sometimes we show C minus, C plus. So here, see, negative charge is there, positive reagent will come. Positive charge is there, negative reagent will come. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So charges are important. Charges come from where? Bond is polar. What I'm saying, that will be decided by the electronegativity. So what we talked of dipole moment, students, or what we are talking of the polarity of the bonds. Bonds are polar. Polar means the two element carbon, and carbon is not polar. But if I join carbon and Cl, it will become polar.
Yes, sir.
So depending on the electronegativity. So here I have given a value of the electronegativity according to Pauling scale. Pauling scale says hydrogen electronegativity 2.2, lithium 0.98, beryllium 1.57. It is increasing, 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 increasing. Fluorine most electronegative. How much? About 4. So where is the carbon? Carbon is 2.55, fluorine is 3.98. Nitrogen more electronegative than carbon, oxygen more electronegative than carbon, sodium 0.93, hydrogen 2.2, boron 2.04. So between boron and hydrogen, boron will give electron to the hydrogen. It will become H minus and boron will become positive. So on the basis of electronegativity, we can see what type of charges will be there or direction of the type. Out of carbon and Cl, which is more electronegative? Tell me, Cl more electronegative or carbon?
So Cl.
Cl. So the dipole moment direction is this side. This is negative, students. This is positive. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So what will happen? Negative will attack this carbon. Which one? Nucleophiles. Got it? This carbon is positive. Sir. So nucleophiles will attack. Nucleophile like OH minus is negative. So what it will do? It will attack this carbon. Why? It is negative, it is positive. Right? In carbon and oxygen. Oxygen is negative, carbon is positive. How do I know? Where is the electronegativity of oxygen is 3.44. Carbon is how much? 2.55.
Hmm.
Note down. That's why I brought these values. Out of this, which is more negative, nitrogen or carbon?
Carbon, sir.
Nitrogen and carbon, which
Sorry,
is
sir.
electronegative?
Yes, carbon.
Which one? Which is more electronegative, carbon or nitrogen?
Carbon, sir.
What is the value of carbon? 2.55. What is the value of nitrogen? Which is more? This is 3.04.
Nitrogen.
2.55. So which side the electron will be attracted?
Nitrogen.
Then why you are saying negative? This is positive. Carbon and sulfur. Where is sulfur? Sulfur is 2.58. Carbon is 2.55.
Yes, sir. Sulfur.
There is some difference, not big, but some difference. What is carbon and boron?
Boron, sir, carbon more.
Carbon 2.55, this is 0. So carbon will become negative, this will become positive. Nitrogen and sulfur, students, where is nitrogen?
Sir, nitrogen more, sulfur less.
So bond polarity, this is why you're talking of the bond polarity. Direction of the dipole moment, student, is where the electrons are moving, where there is a negative charge. That is how we show the direction of the dipole moment. So this will help us in predicting what type of reactions are going to take place in organic chemistry. Got my point?
Yes, sir.
Nitrogen and oxygen, which bond will be polar? Which is more electronegative, oxygen or nitrogen? Value I have given you.
Oxygen, sir, oxygen.
So this is negative, this is positive. Boron and hydrogen. Hydrogen is 2.20. Boron is 2.04.
Yes, sir.
So hydrogen is negative, this is positive.
Yes, sir.
So B plus H minus, B plus H minus. This is a hydride ion. See the story, the polarity of the bond. So direction we show like this. The electrons flowing towards it. So some carbon and boron bond, you can see carbon 2.55 boron. So carbon is this pointing towards this direction.
Yes, sir.
This is becoming negative, this is becoming positive. N and Cl, again Cl is, where is Cl? Cl is 3.16. So Cl is more electronegative. B and Cl, this is more electronegative. Carbon and sodium, what happens in this case? Now sodium is 0.93. This is going to become positive, this is becoming negative. Metals will give electrons to the carbon. Magnesium will become positive and carbon will become negative. So this is Grignard's reagent. What happens in Grignard reagent? Positive, negative and negative. So that is how the reactions of Grignard reagent takes place, which we will discuss in the organic chemistry, students.
Okay, sir.
Grignard's reagent, this will be used a lot in organic chemistry. Got it?
Yes, sir.
So R plus will become negative, it will become a nucleophile. And nucleophile will does what? If I have a C double bond O, then R negative, this is going to attack to this carbon because this is negative, this is positive. See that story?
Yes, sir.
That's why we are talking of the electronegativity scale I have given you for that reason. So we can see which is more electronegative from this comparison. Values are given by the Pauling scale. Is more electronegative. Here zinc will do what? 1.65. It gives electrons. So zinc is also giving electron means what? Something which gives electron undergoes oxidation. Is a reducing agent? Reducing agent?
Yes, sir.
A reducing agent. It can give electrons. And carbon will become negative. This will become positive. So all these things we talked because in this part of the organic chemistry, this is a basic requirement that we should understand the bond polarity, students, the Levy structures I discussed, and I discussed with you how to represent the molecules in complete form, condensed forms, and bond line representations.
Yes, sir.
Any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay, then I will see you in my next class. This was very interesting.
Oh.
I hope you enjoyed the things which you never
Uh-huh.
seen such things which we were talking about.
Yes, sir. Of course, sir. Yeah, of course, sir. Of course.
So you will see the, I have to work hard for these to bring the data before you, the electronegativity table, etc. And these are live interactions which are coming in the YouTube. So you can share our videos with your friends so that more and more students join us so we can work more harder and give you more valuable information for NEET and other exams.
Yes,
When
sir.
you are coming for NEET and this one valuable information for deciding the type of reactions which we will discuss. Okay? Okay,
Yes,
good
sir.
night. Then we see you
Good
next.
night, sir. Bye, sir.
Bye bye.